Carpe diem. Seize the day, boys. Make your lives extraordinary.
That's right. We watched Dead Poets Society this week on The Movie Gap, the podcast that has you scream.
How have you not seen that? 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 Little darling, how have you not seen this? How have you not seen it?
Welcome to The Movie Gap. I am your host, Chase Austin, and as always, my disappointment of a son because he wants to go into a theater instead of becoming a doctor, so he kills himself, even though years later he ends up playing a doctor. To my left, Bryce Perkins.
Hello, everybody. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. So anyway, how you doing?
Doing good, Bryce. Doing good. So, before we get into it, obviously, today we are going to be doing Dead Poets Society. And as always, this is a film that almost as always, this is a film that you have never seen.
Correct.
And and now you have watched it once, and we are going to talk about it.
That's right.
I say almost always because we've been doing a couple where I'd never seen them, and that's rare. But you know what?
That's
Even
true.
I have some movie gaps that need to be filled. See what I did there?
Oh, yeah, I did.
That's why we named the
That's the name of the
podcast
fucking
this.
show, dude. Come on.
Yeah.
You got us good on that one, dude.
You got to tighten that.
Yeah, this is all fucking...
It's this one that you got to tighten to make
No,
it
I
not-
know, but then what I really need to do is fucking... is move it
Yep.
out from here. See?
You know what would be interesting is if you did it before we started shooting.
I know, but then...
Well, you want to stop and then we'll take it from the intro.
No, it's good. Seize the day, dude.
You got Carpe D's nuts.
Carpe D's nuts in this shit.
Yeah. All right, don't break the lantern.
Yeah. Robin Williams would be proud.
Yep. No,
Robin Williams would be proud, dude,
you're
of what I just did.
Real-
right there.
Why is it so high up?
I seized the day. That's why. All right.
You're out of frame now.
No, that's okay. I'm about to fix that. Oh, behind the scenes.
Yep.
Oh, shit.
God.
Behind the seize the day.
This really needs to be cut from the audio. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
This is too much. We have not said anything. Let's
This is
take
the
a wrap.
funniest part.
We can just pick it up.
That's the funniest thing we've ever done on this show. That was like some Three Stooges shit right there, huh?
No, it was just you being a jackass. This is why there's a review.
Yeah, I'm curly.
This is why there's a review on Podchaser for this podcast. That
There is?
says, yeah.
We got one?
Well, we got one that's me.
Okay.
That says this podcast is
Don't-
so good, I host it.
Don't tell people that. Okay.
It says
Well,
it in
oh,
the
I see.
bio.
I see what you did there.
And then the other one says something like, this podcast is all right, but that Bryce guy is pretty rude and really obnoxious. 1 star.
Who wrote that? That was
I don't know.
Scott.
That's
I
some
bet that was
jackass.
Scott.
You know what? I say your opinion matters, but fuck you.
Wow. So who's the rude one? You see?
Yeah.
So that's very nice.
No, I actually wanted to bring this up before we started. There is a Twitter. You know how we always like it when people talk to us. So don't spoil this. If you know who this is.
Okay.
All right. But Katie Guy 1956 said, watched your last Crusade episode. I saw no butts and am canceling my plans to listen to the Dan Aykroyd podcast. Period. Bryce's dad. Period.
I have no idea who that could be, but that is a great comment though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
So
was-
sorry
that
you
was
missed
the
out
one-
on that, Scott. You didn't pay. You didn't pay your dues. You didn't say what you said you were gonna do.
Yep.
And so you lost out on a random on a new listener that none of us know.
I love your dad's. That's not his handle either. Like his handle is at B Perkins or at Perkins something or whatever. But his title name is just Katie Guy 1956.
I heard the 1956 and was like, I wonder who this could be.
And then I love how he signed his tweet, just in case you didn't know this was Bryce's dad.
Yeah. That's good. That's good. He's interacting with us. Oh, also, I owe him a big apology because...
Yeah, I was going to say, this does not fall on the shoulders of Chase. This is all on the shoulders of the prodigal son here.
Well, I guess I am pretty rude. I guess that the nameless reviewer, who I still think is Scott, totally.
Scott doesn't know how to use the internet.
Who is rude? Who is rude? Which one of us is rude? All right, but anyway, I had made plans to have my dad guest on the Enter the Dragon episode because he loves Bruce Lee. I believe I mentioned on the episode a number of times that the reason I had seen the movie already is because my dad showed it to me. You know, he's a major Bruce Lee fan, and if there was anybody to have on for that movie, it would be him because he knows. I mean, he's seen them all, but he especially. I mean, Enter the Dragon is his favorite of the Bruce Lees. I mean, as it would be, but I apparently while talking to him on the phone was like, yeah, you should be on. You're going to be on the episode, all right? I'm going to tell Chase. And then completely forgot any...
And then we just did
it. Completely forgot as soon as I hung up, apparently, making those plans.
Fucking Bryce.
I know. And then so I'm talking to my dad a couple weeks later, and he's like, so when we do the Enter the Dragon episode... or he's like, we need to get that one done pretty fast. And I was like, oh, yeah, it's coming out this week. And he was like, what? What are you talking about?
Fucking Bryce.
I was like, yeah, we did it. We put it out. Yeah, Chase hadn't said we did it. We're putting it out this week. He's like, hello. And then I realized my gigantic mistake, and immediately informed Chase. And Chase immediately took the tack of, I am disassociating myself, or whatever that word is, as far as away from this mistake as I can. And his response was, I had no idea he was even supposed to be on.
I was like, what? You didn't tell me that.
Yeah. So, yeah. Sorry, Dad. Well, we'll get you on when we do another Bruce Lee. Because there's a couple more we could definitely do.
Or if he's
that
got
even
another,
I haven't seen.
If he's got another... if it's just the martial arts movies, I mean, I can think of several that are really good, but
right, yeah, yeah. Well, we'll find something.
Yeah,
find something to work. So
this is also not the first time we've gone ahead with one that he was supposed to be on.
What do you mean?
I think it was like in our first year, even. Yeah, because we
were going to do one with like all the dads.
Yeah,
we're going to do like a Father's Day. For Field of Dreams.
And then we did. Oh, you know what?
We never ended up doing it, and then we just did Field of Dreams randomly.
Yeah, we did it. Well,
next year or something like that.
No, we did it before the pandemic, so we can't blame that. But you know what? I blame the pandemic.
Yeah.
I think that's what did it. Although it would actually be easier now, because then they don't all have to come over.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Oh, yeah. Remember the days where we had to coordinate people actually coming over and having enough mics for everybody, and now...
Yeah, it's one of those things like I both miss that and I don't, because it does give us the opportunity to have, like with a lot of our guests, they have kids, so it's a lot easier for them to just do it online, and then there's some guests that we have that, including a special upcoming guest, which we'll talk about in a minute, who lives in Virginia or somewhere over there. And they wouldn't be able to make it all the way over here just to record. So, but I do, I do miss having the people in studio, and one day we will do that again.
Yeah,
I'm not 65-year-old voters, so I haven't gotten the vaccine yet.
Same.
But I plan on it because they have a tracker in that vaccine so that government can keep tabs on you. Which
Is that
means,
a fact? Is that right?
Means, yeah, and I like this because that means that if I'm ever framed for murder, I could be like, no, check the vaccine tracker, bitch. I wasn't there.
Okay.
That's
Sure.
my thing.
Okay, yeah. And you read about that where? That tracker?
Oh, online?
Yeah.
From factcheck.com. Factcheckvaxtracker.com.
Okay. All right.
It might have been a /r. I don't know.
Sounds legit.
Is Reddit where people get conspiracy theories? I really don't know.
Yeah. Yep.
Isn't everything a conspiracy theory?
Yeah. Absolutely.
Oh.
Yeah. That's cool. I'm glad you had fun on your QAnon message
But anyway,
boards.
I was going to say, since I brought it up, we're having one of our friends that we've never had on the show before, Bernie from from Three Beers and a Mic and an MCU name pending, which is where they've stolen our idea of talking about movies that somebody had never seen, and it was all of the MCU, which is exactly what we did last year. But they gave us the olive branch to be on, and I recently was on one about the Incredible Hulk, so go check that out. It was fantastic, and you're going to be on two. We're going to be on one together,
right?
Up, and then you're going to be on another one, and I'm going to be on another one, and but Bernie's going to come on our show, and then of course we're going to have Dwayne back eventually, and Rami and everything. But so look out for that, and look out for Bernie coming on here. So check out Three Beers and a Mic. The one I did with the Hulk, I guarantee you it's worth it to not watch the Hulk and just listen to that.
Yeah. I listened to it too, and it's the podcast that they did on it is better than the movie itself. Even though I've never seen the movie, I'm going to go ahead and just put my bets on
It's
that.
a waste of time.
Yeah.
Yeah, watching it, I was like, man, I am so glad I told Bryce to skip this one.
Yeah, me too. I mean, I'm glad you told me to skip that one too.
Yeah.
That's one that when we did all of those, check those out in the back catalog. Those episodes, I mean. I didn't even when I went back to watch all of them on my own, I just didn't even bother looking for that one.
Yeah.
And I don't feel like I've missed anything.
And it's like the only one that you have to pay for, which is bullshit. Because they're all on.
Well, you got to pay for Spider-Man.
No, I mean, but I was even able to find the Spider-Man ones when we did it. I found them on like FX Movies, like the app from my TV or whatever. Like I found it for free on that. You just had to watch with the commercials or whatever. But even I found those for free. But the fucking Hulk, you have to rent.
Wow.
Which is easier to do than the upcoming episode of Scott's podcast that we're going to do over Cannonball Run, where he had to bring me a copy of the DVD for us to watch because it is not available online.
And from what I have been able to watch of it, I can see why that would be the case.
Yeah,
but anyway.
That's going to be a fun episode, so look out for that on the Burt Reynolds and Charles Bronson podcast. So coming up soon. All right. Well, that cleans house.
Okay.
So
sounds good.
You got anything else? Big shout out, celebratory. All the congratulations in the world to fan favorite, friend of the show, integral part of the Movie Gap machine.
Oh, right.
Central Cog, our friend AP Stark got married a few weeks ago.
Yep.
And it was a Movie Gap official wedding because I officiated it and I'm in the Movie Gap.
Yep. And I virtually attended.
Yeah.
So,
It was a lot of fun. A great wedding. I got to meet, I knew most of Bryce. Most of Stark's side of the family.
Right.
I got to meet all of.
You got to see Jerry.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. I hadn't seen him in like 7 or 8 years.
Forever.
I hadn't seen Stark's sister in like 15 years.
Yeah. I don't think I've ever met her.
Yeah. And so I got to and his mom. I hadn't seen her in like 10 years, and or no, I saw her when we went to that with his birthday party a few years back.
Okay.
He was there, but anyway, so they were all there, and then I met all of his now wife's Haley's family, and they were awesome, so sweet, so much fun.
Nice.
And it was a beautiful little ceremony. It was one of those roll with the punches things. It was the foggiest,
I noticed
weather
that.
I'd ever seen in my life. It was literally 200 feet in front of you. You could not see when you're driving.
They had to switch it to indoors, huh?
Yeah,
It
yeah.
started drizzling a little.
No, it wasn't even raining. It was just fog.
Oh, wow.
Like literally when you're driving,
No one
it'll
could
say
see
like,
shit, huh?
yeah, you got I had my GPS on it. It'd say, in 1,000 feet, turn left or whatever. And you could not see where that turn was. It would be like at 1,000 feet, turn left. And you're like, slow down because I don't know where that 1,000 feet is.
Yeah.
I mean, the visibility was fucking zero.
Whoa.
Yeah. You were driving. I mean, it was a horror film. It was like Silent Hill. Did you ever play that game?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. It was like that where you literally can't see
Right.
in front of you
Wow.
because it was so foggy.
Wow.
If I saw it in a movie, I would be like, well, that never happens in real life.
Right.
But it was
And
that
yet you
foggy.
did, yeah.
I mean, just driving right on the seawall where the fucking ocean is there, you couldn't see it.
Wow.
Yeah,
Dang,
it was
that's
nuts.
crazy.
It was nuts. But great thing.
Yeah.
All the love and support and congratulations to our Movie Gap family member Stark and his now wife Starkette. Is that what we call him?
Yep.
Yeah. It was
That's
funny like talking to his family. I always forget that his name is not Stark. That is his last name.
Right.
So
right.
like I'll be like, oh yeah, Stark, and it's like all these Starks are like,
yeah. Which one?
this is
Hello.
which one, yeah.
Yeah.
So so shout out to him.
Yes. Big congrats. Big congrats. And this happened about a month ago from now,
Give or
when we
take,
released this, but still, in our timeline, it's pretty recent. So
Yeah.
you know.
So we didn't forget. It
That's
just,
right. Right.
Yeah.
And by the way,
our,
he's
our
the one
timeline
that
is all off because we've actually been away from the mics for about 2 weeks.
Yeah, that's true. That is
So,
true. And by the way, for
tried
those
to
of you who
say-
don't know, he's the one that Stark. He's the one that does all the artwork
Mm-hmm.
that you see for every episode. So he helps us out with that. So
Yeah.
big congrats to him,
And a big thanks.
and a big thanks as always. And then speaking of thanks, we got to give thanks to our official sponsor,
Oh yes.
New Look Construction, once again for updating our recording equipment here with these microphones and the soundboard. Big thank you to them. If you're in the Houston area and you need any work done on your home, you need awnings put out in the backyard or however that works. Not sure exactly what an awning is, but they do, and they will put it up for you. New Look Construction, 281-620-8077. Give them a call and ask for Joe. All right. So, that being said, speaking of Joe, there's no one in this movie named Joe.
I don't think so. Not in
the
the 1950s.
right. It would have
right?
been Joseph or something like that. They would have
Yeah.
gone by. Yeah. And also, speaking of that, I do, appreciate Robin Williams, of course.
Well, before we start talking, let's just get
Uh-huh.
into it. Let's start off
Okay.
how we always start off.
Okay. Yeah. Let's stick
First
with the
off-
timeline. Stick
yeah,
with the
first
timeline.
off,
I don't.
Bryce.
Yeah.
You've never seen this film.
Correct.
Or you had never seen this film. I always say you've never seen it, but obviously you've seen it now.
Right.
So you'd never seen this before.
Uh-huh.
What did you know about going in?
I knew that eventually some dudes would be standing on tables or desks and reciting poetry or something along those lines.
Okay.
All
right.
And I knew Robin Williams was in it, and I knew Ethan Hawke was in it, who is Maya Hawke's dad for those youngsters out there.
Yep.
Makes me feel so old because we grew up with Ethan Hawke, and now there's a whole generation of youngsters out there that really probably only know of Maya Hawke. Probably don't really even know Ethan Hawke. That's crazy,
Ethan and
right?
Uma
Right.
are
Yeah.
huge stars.
Yeah.
And, not
When
as
we
much
were kids.
anymore.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, they're still huge stars, but
right.
you know what I mean.
Uh-huh. And yeah, other than that, I had no idea of the plot. in any way, shape, or form.
So you
know?
basically knew it was about kids in school, and Robin Williams and Ethan Hawke were in it.
Right.
Yeah. All right. So
Yeah.
let's get into everybody's new favorite segment, favorite news segment, however you want to say that. That is the what do we call it?
The brief synopsis.
The brief
Oh, wait,
synopsis.
newbie synopsis.
Newbie synopsis.
All right, ready?
Yeah.
Newbie synopsis. Newbie synopsis. Give me that brand new motherfucking synopsis. Okay.
I thought you said you recorded a.
Well, I did. I mean, I had a thing and I forgot where I bounced it, so we're just going with the flow today. I'll have it updated in the next couple of weeks.
Not by the next one.
Not by the next one, though. No.
All right. So I will put a minute on the clock. Give me 1 second. And you ready?
Okay. And wait. Let me just clarify because like you said before, we've been away from the mics for a minute. So I'm doing my best to summarize it basically.
Yeah.
Now that I have seen it.
Yeah.
Okay.
I will say that you sort of over synopsize. Like you basically just tell the whole thing in a minute, but that's fine.
Okay.
I kind of like that too. So.
All right.
You ready?
Well, whatever works.
You got a minute and go.
All right. So it's a all boys school, high school, and with a headmaster, and they're still allowed to spank them, but you don't find out about that until later, and then there's like a new class of senior boys that are getting ready for college, and they all have strict parents, and it's all very waspy. And then you see Robin Williams for a second in the beginning, and he's like, "Hey, I'm Robin," and you're like, "Oh, hey, that's Robin Williams. I wonder what he's gonna do. Is he gonna be inspirational, or is he gonna be only funny?" And then it turns out it's a little bit of both. And he shows the boys that free thought is key to living a full life and changing the world. And you don't have to conform to this all boys waspy prep school shit to be happy. To find true happiness, you should think for yourself and not be afraid to express yourself. And then they go into a cave because they find a book about the Dead Poet Society, and Robin Williams was in that, and he's their teacher now. And so they're like, "Well, we're going to do what our teacher did." And they go to this cave and they play. They look at porn and they play saxophones, and then one of the guys is in love with a girl, and he gets beat up because it's another dude's girlfriend from another school, but then she chooses him anyway, and she's a bad actress, and then the one guy wants to be an actor, and he does it against his dad's wishes, and his dad forced him to go to military school, and instead of like in Bill and Ted when they go back into the future to pass their thing, he just kills himself.
Okay. You went a little over, but
how long did I go?
You
over?
were on a roll, so it was about 2 minutes. But
damn, I went way over.
Yeah, well, I like how when you're giving a synopsis of a film, you talk about how the audience should feel and then equate it to other movies.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a synopsis.
I call it my elevator pitch. I imagine I'm sitting at the boardroom. I'm in the meeting room with the producer or with the Hollywood execs, and
I think
that's the thing that
you are like the people on Bachelor where they're like they know terms but they don't really know what they mean and they just kind of spit them out.
Sure. So clearly define synopsis for me.
It is what the story is about. What is this movie about?
Okay, and what did I just do?
I mean, you just like
I told you what the movie's about.
Yeah, but like I mean, you describe the movie word for word. You want to hear like the synopsis is on?
Yeah, give me an example of a synopsis.
Here's
an
a
actual
brief
synopsis.
one, and even this is a little long, but it's pretty brief. Painfully shy, Todd Anderson has been sent to the school where his popular older brother was valedictorian. His roommate Neil Perry, although exceedingly bright and popular, is very much under the thumb of his overbearing father. The two, along with their other friends, meet Professor Keaton, their new English teacher, who tells them of the Dead Poet Society and encourages them to go against the status quo. Each does so in his own way and is changed for life.
That was pretty fucking long, if you ask me. Time that. That was over by at least 30 seconds.
Yeah, I mean but it's
Also,
short.
I don't know anything about the movie off of that, so
I mean it's just Yeah.
I'll take the victory on that one. Thank you.
All
What can I say? I'm a gifted synopsizer.
You have a like spoilerific. Which is
Dude.
I mean, obviously, I want to know.
Right.
I mean, I feel like I've watched the movie again.
Now,
when I listen
you know what?
to
To be
yours, which is what I
fair,
enjoy.
right? To be fair, maybe mine's like it's like a post synopsis. Like, don't listen to the. It's a well, really, what it is it's a summary.
It's also got a lot of. It's also got a lot of like your
personal interpretation.
Your interpretations of it, what things made you feel at what moments,
you know what
it reminds you of.
I'm here to make the game evolve as the teacher, as my great teacher Robin Williams taught me. Free thought is the key to changing the world. So that's what we're doing. We're changing the definition of synopsis together.
I mean,
Join
you're
me,
right. It's not
you?
What you're doing is not a synopsis.
Well, it's an addition to. It's a
detailed.
It's yes-anding the definition of synopsis.
A detailed, somewhat rambling description of the film.
It's good. I love the segment
from T to B.
I love this segment. I think it's like my favorite part of the whole show.
It is somebody's favorite part.
I can't wait to hear yours next week.
Oh, we'll see.
Since it's going to be a little bit of
spoiler alert.
A flip. Yeah. But you're right. I do give spoilers in my synopsis,
which is fine.
If
you're listening to a podcast about a movie and you're worried about spoilers, fuck you.
That's true.
That's
a good point. Again, who's the rude one? Who's the rude one? That wasn't rude. I'm just saying, dude.
It wasn't rude. It was just matter of fact.
I'm
just being honest.
You know what? I bet it was Ed. I bet it was Ed that left that review.
I bet it was.
He would do that to me, wouldn't he? You sneaky limey.
What a limey bastard.
Limey bastard.
All right. All right, Bryce. Well, let's get into it.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on Dead Poet Society, 1989?
Okay. Well, I mean, I want to start with Robin Williams.
Yeah.
A little bit. What's the word? It's a little bit. What's the best word for it? Kind of creepy. Kind of.
I don't know what you're trying to describe.
Harrowing. Because Robin ends up killing himself in real life. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And his student does that. You know what I mean? It's just a little bit
like a weird foreshadowing thing.
Yeah.
Vastly different reasoning.
Right. Right. But still, yeah. But was he nominated for an Oscar for this one?
No. I don't think anybody was.
Was this movie nominated at all?
Yeah, it was. It was nominated for screenplay and picture.
Okay.
I know that.
Okay. Yeah. Well, was this like his first turn into dramatic acting? Was this
kind
of the beginning of him?
Becoming
Papa Robin.
I think Awakenings was in 1990, but he had done some acting. Most of the acting he did early on, I believe, was serious. I will say that I think this is a very subdued performance of his. While
yeah, definitely.
Ebert panned this film because they said he was just over the top.
What?
But okay, let's see here. So he had done obviously Popeye. That was one of his big. I think it was his first like actual
dramatic.
Movie. Not dramatic.
Okay, right.
World According to Garp.
Oh wait, no, it wasn't. Oh no, fucking another Robin Williams we need to do because I've never seen it.
Good Morning Vietnam was before this.
Yeah.
He was also in a film called Seize the Day before this.
Whoa, foreshadowing.
Yeah. Best of Times, Club Paradise, those are ones I don't recognize. Moscow on the Hudson, The Survivors, and those were all before this. And then this one. So, yeah, so he had done some serious, and obviously, he was a stand-up comedian. Everybody knows that. And then Mork and Mindy, and a lot of what we know Robin Williams as.
Yeah, right.
But this was before he was super.
Before he started getting Oscar heat.
Oh, you know what?
He got nominated for Good Morning Vietnam, though, didn't he?
He was nominated for this too. I was wrong.
Oh,
he was nominated for this.
Way to go, dude.
Yeah. Best writing, best picture, Best Director, and then Best Actor in a Leading Role. So I was wrong.
Okay.
He was nominated for this.
Okay. All right. So 2 years in a row, or two films in a row, he was getting nominated.
Yeah.
Wow.
And he this did win the screenplay. It did not win the best picture. But
The film about writers wins the writing award.
Mhm.
Well, it's not poetry, but
They're also
same
not
thing.
really writers.
What's a synopsis?
So anyway, I'm not saying poets
um,
aren't writers. I'm saying that the characters in this were not writers.
Right, but the movie's about the poets, and it's
Okay,
kind
yeah.
of has about poetry.
All right, yeah.
I mean, I don't mean to be
So-
rude, but
So anyway,
basically,
Robin
yeah,
Williams.
that's what I was
What did
saying.
you think of his performance in this?
I mean,
Obviously, you must have liked it.
you hit the nail on the head, brother, when you said subdued.
Yeah.
I was surprised at how restrained he was. And I think Roger Ebert needs to go fuck himself for saying that he was over the top, because
and
what the fuck
Ebert-
movie were you watching?
Ebert is one of those guys that just had his fucking head up his ass. It was stay in your lane. You do comedy. I don't ever want to see
Right.
you do it. So I feel like that's what it is, because he was super believable.
Yeah.
And,
yeah.
since
Well, and
Robin Williams...
also, do you know who Robin Williams is? Like, have you ever
Yeah.
watched a Robin Williams anything to call that over the top
Yeah.
for Robin fucking Williams?
The only thing that's over the top about it is if you're like, oh, that's Robin Williams, I'm going to laugh because it's Robin Williams. It's like,
Right.
that's not what this is.
Right.
And I think that, this is one of those things that since this film and many others, comedic actors and comedians in general and stuff who do acting, they tend to be very good actors, because you kind of need to be able to do that
Right.
to bring the comedy into it. you know?
Right.
In order to
Exactly.
play, Mrs. Doubtfire, you have to have a believability in this unbelievable. So you have to
Right.
be that much better.
Exactly. Yeah, absolutely.
And
Yep.
and I think he does this really well. Plus, he's like the perfect. I feel like my peas are popping real bad,
You're okay.
but he is the perfect.
You should go see a doctor about that. But
He is the perfect amount of like, I believe his backstory. Like Robin Williams is a little guy. He's not like particularly handsome. He was probably a nerd, so like it fits his. He's this little dork who liked to read poetry. And he's coming back to the school. He wasn't like the popular kid or anything like that. Like his story fits, and he's, his whole thing. Like the kids immediately love him because he has that likability, and that is
Right.
something that Robin always had.
right. Yeah, absolutely.
So-
yeah.
I think he did. He did do
Yeah,
great.
I thought he did amazing. But yeah, I mean, at the same time, I was a little. He did amazing, but I was I was really surprised by how subdued he was. I was expecting him to be like to be even more like, I don't know, inspirationally. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like how those movies, especially in the late 80s and early 90s, where it was just like swelling soundtracks with like
More
epic lines
yeah,
with
more,
a tear coming down the
Goodwill Hunting, like his
yeah,
character in
right.
that.
And it certainly had all that stuff, but it was like kind of like artfully done rather than like in your face, so it was
Okay,
good.
yeah,
It was a
I'll
pleasant
take that.
surprise. But he did amazing. But I do want to say one thing. He did the wrong era of Marlon Brando impersonation, I should say. Did you catch that?
Which
Was the only thing when he was like, you want to see, Shakespeare done by this guy or maybe Marlon Brando, and he went into Godfather era Marlon Brando, but that movie hadn't come out yet.
no,
He
but
should have
Marlon
done.
Brando always had that voice.
No,
even in
I
Streetcar
know,
and-
but you know what I'm saying.
But yeah,
It
he
was a
did go
little
full
bit, yeah, he went
Godfather.
full Godfather
Yeah.
with it. You never go full Godfather.
he went old Brando, not young Brando.
Exactly.
Yeah.
He didn't go. I could have been a contender. He didn't. Anyway, he could have done on the waterfront, but whatever. So you blew it, Robin. That's why you lost the Oscar. And that's the end of that.
It probably is.
Yeah, totally. But no. Speaking of great acting, who really kind of blew me away in this movie was Neil, the guy who played Neil.
Robert Sean Leonard.
Robert Sean. Are you saying Shong?
Sean
Sean.
Leonard.
Robert Sean Leonard. And what show is he in that I recognize him from?
House.
He's in House. Yeah. That's what it is. Okay, yeah, because that was definitely one of those guys I spent the whole movie going, where's he from?
Yeah. House is definitely what you would know him from.
Yep, it is. It is. But dude, he really... How old was he when he did this movie?
Oh, let's see. He is born in 1969.
Okay.
So he was
20.
20, yeah.
They were all 19
They
even,
were all pretty much the right age.
Right.
I think there was one or two that were one person I think was 28 or something and got the part, and then they found out he was 28 and they were like, you got to re-audition.
What?
We think you might be too old now.
If he fit though.
Yeah. But then
he ended up still getting it?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh yeah, there you go. It's like Ralph Macchio being the Karate Kid. You know what I mean? When he was like 27 or some shit.
Yeah. But, I mean, and they still do that to some extent, but, most of the time you're going to cast kids to be kids. And, back then, that didn't happen as much. But they were all, they were all playing 15 and they were actually 20. It wasn't like 15-year-olds playing 15-year-olds.
Yeah.
So.
Right. I got you, yeah.
But, none of it felt like they were too old.
No, not at all. I felt like they all played their age perfectly.
Do you think Robert Sean Leonard? Do you think he was better than Joaquin Phoenix would have played this character? Not Joaquin Phoenix, River Phoenix.
Wait, was River up for that?
He wanted it.
Oh my God! Yeah. No, River would have killed it.
Yeah. I don't think.
I mean, not that Robert Sean Leonard didn't.
No, he did. I think that
RSL.
I think that. Robert Sean Leonard has the better look for it, though.
River,
I mean, he's not. River looked. He was just a cooler kid,
dude. Yeah,
he's just a cooler kid.
It would have been distracting, almost.
Yeah,
and
these were all unknowns at the time. Even Hawk was
right.
Not a. I
mean, but that would have been so 20. Cool to have a gem like that, especially with River passing. Young.
He got Stand By Me, so.
Yeah, I know, but that would have been so cool to have Ethan Hawke and Robert,
Ethan and
what's his name?
River. Yeah, Ethan and Robert are very good friends to this day, and they've worked together. On several things. They were in a film version of a play that I love called Tape.
Okay,
and it's just the two of them and Uma Thurman, and it's a Linklater. Richard Linklater directed it. And they did the film version of it together. That was in like 2000 or something.
Are Uma and Ethan still together?
No, not for a while.
Oh, it went the Johnny Depp and Amber Heard route, or
no,
what?
not that bad.
Okay.
That was never good. Ethan and Uma.
Right.
It was a real relationship with actual love. I think that I don't think that they want to kill each other or anything like that, but they're definitely not together. They have a kid together, but they're not.
Okay. Well, we don't need to speculate on their personal lives. We don't know them.
They're also very private.
If they were still together.
They're very private people compared to a lot of celebrities. So.
Yeah, certainly. Yeah. So anyway, River would have. I mean, River was just an unreal talent, man. I mean, it's just it's impossible to say anyone would do better than him, but it's impossible to say if he would have done better than RSL, because RSL, man, he fucking killed it, dude. Like, he had this like subtlety about him. I really honestly felt like he was acting beyond his age, man. Like,
I mean, and that's so important for that character too.
Yeah, right.
He's like got that like sort of old soul, and
right. Yeah.
Him falling in love with the theater that way was very, but like there was a childlike innocence to it as well.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Like, I finally found what I want to do, but
and he was like taking his time with his reactions and his pacing and saying things. That scene with him and Robin where he came to Robin for advice about, what do I do? My dad doesn't want me to do this, but I want to do this play. And they had that scene together. RSL stole the scene, bro. Like, he fucking was, his character is dealing with things that, like, unless you've experienced how truly difficult that is, there's no way to fake that. as far as acting is concerned. You know what I mean? And maybe he has in real life, but to be that young, he was acting as if he had the wisdom of a fucking 60-year-old or something.
Yeah.
You know, he was the way he acted it was as if he'd gone through it, you know, multiple times in his life already. It's exactly what you're talking
about. The patience of his performance.
Yeah.
You know, the reactions that he gives.
And he brought the tears, bro.
Yeah.
I mean,
Oh,
and he
so
brought
good.
him on like perfect timing. Like, he really knocked it out of the park, man. So fucking, you know, I guess I'm a RSL fanboy now, you know?
Yeah.
So RSL, you know, we could love to, you know,
have
go
to
to
go
a
back
bar
and
or something after
rewatch
COVID.
House.
We can go grab a drink or so. I don't know. Maybe we could be friends. Anyway, just hit, you know where to find me. Okay. So, but anyway, no, he fucking killed it. And, you know, Ethan Hawke did amazing as well. I mean, he must have been pretty young too, huh? About 20.
I mean, I think he was 20 as well.
Yeah. But yeah. Other than that, I did not. Okay, so about this
19.
movie, I have never been a big fan of just poetry. Like,
Okay, yeah.
And you know, like I make music myself, and usually lyrics I really enjoy doing, but it's always the last thing I do. I enjoy making the music more, so I do that first. Especially poetry by itself, I just have never really been like into reading Walt Whitman or, you know, E. Cummings, or if that's even a guy.
The closest I get, because I'm the same way, and the closest I really get is I really really do like Shakespeare. Like it's fucking what do you call it? Cliche of doing like, you know, being a theater major, and you like theater, you know, you like Shakespeare and all that kind of stuff. But like, I fucking love Shakespeare.
We've been educated on why exactly it is so good. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We know that it is, and it's hard to deny that it is. Right.
But that being said, like his sonnets and stuff, I don't like as much as
the plays.
And then I can break down the the dialogue and stuff in the plays, which is all fucking poetry.
Right. Yeah, in and of itself.
Yeah. And I do like the sonnets and everything like that, but I really get
it's too late, dude. You fucking took a hard line on the sonnets. So, you hate the sonnets.
Poetry is not my thing. I don't love it.
Yeah.
And but at the same time, I don't like the way the fucking textbook guy was describing what makes good poetry. I was like, well, that makes no fucking sense.
Right. And that's why that scene was great for Robin's character to be like, rip them out. Come on, rip them all, you know. But here's the thing. I was going to say that this movie brought more of an understanding of it, even if it's on, you know, just under the surface level. Like, obviously, it doesn't break down exactly why something that, you know, I don't know, any other poet wrote is genius or anything, but it touched on reasoning behind why it moves people the way it does, or why poetry moves people the way it does, for those that it does that too. And that was the thing I was always missing. I was just like, I don't understand how, like, it can move you. Just from reading, I mean, I did, but like, I guess I never found it inspiring or anything. And this movie kind of opened my eyes to the power of it, you know. So that was great. I'm glad that that happened. I got that from this movie.
I feel like there was more to it than just the poetry aspect of it as well. It was like all forms of art do this.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
right.
Like, I feel the same way with
and the realization that it's really about like kind of free thought.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Which is what art and poetry and
thinking for yourself and stuff.
Everything is, you know?
Right. But that was like the most interesting aspect of the movie to me. You know, I was expecting to be like knocked out by the emotional aspect of the kids being inspired, having like this teacher to look up to and stuff, and that stuff was really great. But And like the poetry part, the thing that I don't like at all, ended up being the most exciting thing about watching this movie.
Well, and I think the film really does a good job of not feeling forced in that way, like you usually hate.
Yeah.
You know, the over the top, there's the big moment at the end of the "Oh Captain, My Captain," that's the swelling, and but it's deserved.
Great, exactly.
It set itself up for that.
Right, exactly.
And it didn't feel forced or anything like that. And one thing that's interesting about this film is, so my wife had never seen it when we watched it together the other day for this. And she was like, wow, they just really like him. That wasn't, it's one of those things with Dangerous Minds or something where the teacher has to
what? I was surprised about that.
Yeah, but I mean, they were in.
They were, but they had but they kind of balanced it out with the fact that there was still a couple of them that didn't really.
Yeah, well, it was the rule following kids or whatever.
Right.
And the crazy thing is his methods of teaching weren't like.
I know, but
fuck
for
you,
for the 50s and back then, it was totally taking that.
And this movie does a great job of setting that up, and there's that sequence right before we get into the class for the first time, where he has them rip everything out, where we go through the day, all those boys with all those fucking teachers.
Yeah, that was really well done.
Like the worst old school strict teaching
tradition.
Yeah, and then
the rest will take care of itself.
The Latin, where it's just like you're not learning Latin, you're just repeating.
Right.
Like how is that helpful at all?
Right.
Yeah.
Structure and tradition. That's what they need.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're right. They didn't really take the track of what was I going to say? I forgot. But I was surprised that there wasn't a.
It wasn't a battle.
What's that fucking movie?
Side.
Yeah, what's that movie? Where South Park makes fun of it. It's like, how do I reach these kids?
Oh, Stand and Deliver?
Yeah. It wasn't that. I was expecting more of that. But they balance it out. But anyway.
But this is also the opposite, kids. It's not kids who are, trouble youths in a bad situation.
Right.
These
it was kids
that,
not necessarily don't want to learn. They just need another way of being stimulated.
Yeah.
To learn.
They need to be excited about the content or the curriculum,
right?
Instead of everything is boring and this is just what you do. Here's what you need to know. Regurgitate it. And like with Robin Williams in his character in this movie that's not what poetry is. That's not what this class is about. It's about deeper than that. This is not just for a test. This is something that means something more to you inside as a human being that makes us different from the animals.
That you're going to be able to take with you for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's talk about the reveal of the way they did the whole suicide scene.
Okay. Yeah.
Because that was really well done.
Yeah.
In a super clever way of depicting that, I thought. Because they kind of made it seem like it could have been a dream sequence or something.
Oh, I didn't get that, but I guess I see what you're saying.
You know what I mean?
It was haunting.
Right.
Yeah.
But it was it wasn't like explicit from the start.
Yeah, you didn't know that was going to happen.
Yeah, until you see him take the key and then open the drawer and actually grab the gun. You're like, okay. But he's not gonna do it, surely. And then the way that it follows him to the point where he sits down in his dad's office, and then the next thing you see is it cuts to the dad, which Red Foreman, by the way.
Oh yeah.
Shout outs to him.
Movie Gap alum for, do you remember which movie?
Yes. Stand and Deliver.
Nope.
No, it
Total
was
Recall.
Total Recall. Yeah, I totally recall that. It cuts to
Kurtwood
him.
Smith, that's his name.
That's right. It cuts to him waking up and going, "What was that sound?"
Yeah,
and then
you don't even hear the sound. I thought that's so
you don't
brilliant.
Hear the sound.
Like the sound woke him
That
up.
was
but,
so good.
I mean,
but you don't hear it. And then that's where I was getting the thing where it's like, are they gonna reveal it was just a dream? Like they were playing with perception of reality,
Yeah, well,
you know, in that kind of sense.
And also, like, it was a switch of point of view, you know, because we were experiencing this suicide from outside of what's his name, Neil, Robert, Neil Perry. So
right.
we weren't in the room with him as much. You know, we saw the build up, but it was all little shots of him.
Yeah.
And then, you know, when he does die, we're definitely not in his point of view anymore. We are immediately in Kurtwood, the Red, Mr. Perry. Mr. Perry's point of view. And that, like, when you hear something in your dream that, you wake up from the dream from a loud noise or whatever, you don't necessarily even know that you heard it.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like, that's what it is. Like, he heard that gunshot, but we didn't hear the gunshot because he didn't hear the gunshot.
Yeah.
Something woke him up and he was like, something happened.
Yeah.
You know?
And then the way that they show him walking into the room and then sniffing, and then you're like, damn, did he really do it? And then they turn it around and you see the desk again, but instead of like showing a kid with his head blown off, they just shift the perspective to where you see the gun and then you see the hand.
Oh yeah, they did the little pan.
Yeah, and that was so well done, man.
And like
because
the little wisp of smoke from the gun. Yeah,
and it's the thing that we always come back to, or that we always end up talking about, where less is more. As far as like what you're showing, there's like a real power in showing the restraint and letting the human imagination do the rest.
It also, goes to like what is the effect that you want from the audience? Do you want them to see this child's brains all over the ground? Like, how does that make this more? That doesn't make it emotional.
Yeah,
what I mean?
It just makes it.
It makes
gross.
Yeah, whereas like in for instance in like The Walking Dead, when there's a one of the main characters ends up getting his head beat in with a baseball bat at one point.
I've seen the memes.
Yeah, as unspoilerific as I could get with that.
Sure.
But like they show it on TV, this guy getting hit, and like there's a lot of people who were turned off by it, and it was like, yeah, that's the visceral nature that they wanted.
Yeah,
to make you have that effect where you're like, I don't want to see this. Where that's not the point of this. The point of this is, he's dead.
Yeah.
The suicide. This needs to hurt on an emotional level, not a that
shock
much.
You.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's more about the suicide, not how he did it or anything.
Right. Yeah.
Or shock value.
Right.
There's no shock value to it other than look what you did.
Yeah.
Mr. Perry.
Yeah. Exactly. It was just all really well done, man. I was really, taken aback by that. It was very good. But I gotta say that that is one hell of a
fatality
from Mr. Perry there. That's one way to do it, I guess.
So
they said finish him.
My wife brought up something that I didn't really ever think about because, as a theater boy back in the day, I was not and still not I'm not gay, so like, but my wife was like, so like, was he gay? Is that why he killed himself? And I was like, why did you think he's gay? And she's like, I don't know. He was like giving Ethan those eyes the whole time. And then his dad was all upset. And I was like, no, I think his dad was literally upset that he was wasting his time on theater and this kid wanted to do theater.
Yeah.
He wasn't gay.
Yeah.
Like, if he was gay, maybe he was. I don't know.
I think our wives love putting homosexuality, projecting homosexuality on men that just isn't there. You know what I mean? They always seem to find pockets of like, oh yeah, that guy's gay, and it's like he has done literally nothing to show that he's gay. Why are we saying this?
Well, and I did when I was doing that 3BAM podcast, we did spend about 2 hours talking about the Hulk's dick, and she goes, "Why are you talking about men's dicks?" And I had to sit her down and be like, "Look, I'm not talking about men's dick. We're talking about the Hulk's dick. Okay, it's different."
Okay. Yeah.
She's like, "Why are you talking about dicks? That's pretty gay." I was like, "No, we're not talking about wanting to touch them.
Right. Yeah.
Curiosity.
Sure. Yeah, it's just that's funny that she went there. Like nothing about homosexuality was mentioned, and she was like, "Wait, so did he kill himself because he's gay?"
She's like, "Yeah, like his dad's mad that he's gay, right?"
Right.
Like, I don't think he's gay. I mean, maybe he's gay, but like, I don't think I really.
Man,
think
you know
what
what? He could have been. You know what? There could have been an underlying shame thing, because of the 50s, but they never explicitly said it.
I think that it really was his like and especially in the 50s and even now, like the arts and everything like that is a very a gay or more gay friendly than than other things would be.
What,
or whatever.
theater?
Yeah, like theater, you think of theater and you're like, there's a lot of gay people in theater.
Sure.
Not everybody's gay in theater, but there is a lot.
Sure.
So and it's a lot, of being in touch with your emotions and he's doing poetry, on stage in front of all these people. Like it's especially back then when things really were just like, that's gay or that's not gay. You know what I mean? So I don't think that was the intention.
I don't think so either. And, just to clarify for Carrie, the reason why guys spend so much time talking about other dudes' dicks has nothing to do with us being gay. It's just we like talking about things, talking about the dicks, and, maybe touching them sometimes, maybe talking about sucking on them sometimes. It has nothing to do with being gay.
No,
okay?
It's not gay if your balls don't touch and you don't smile.
Okay, I don't know about that part. You're canceled. But anyway, on to the next one.
Fatality.
And then...
Got a terrific penis.
Yep. But anyway, yeah.
Little dick, it's pathetic.
Yeah, there we go. Hit him with it.
We do have a lot of dick stuff in this.
Yeah, it's funny. Anyway, yeah. So, I never thought about that though. That is interesting. Maybe there was an underlining thing, but see, that leads me to my next question though.
I can see a little bit of his character being gay or not, but it's not. That's not what's important.
I definitely
that's not
wasn't
the
getting
thing of it.
any of that when I was watching it, but I could totally see it being an underlying thing that maybe they were, maybe they wanted a part of it.
I don't.
But here's the thing.
I think it's just the 50s. But.
Here's the thing. Here's my next question though. Is this based off a book?
Yes, and the screenplay is written by the guy who wrote the book.
Oh wow! They actually let him adapt it.
Yeah.
Oh okay.
Yeah, he was a producer. What is he? Yeah. Anyway, it was based off of a book.
Okay.
And I think in the book, like Robin Williams' character had leukemia or something. Like there's like little differences that they kind of cut.
Right, sure.
It's an adaptation.
That's a good cut, though. I mean, it's just another layer of stuff that you don't really need for the movie.
I'm gonna double check on that book thing because I've been watching a lot of movies for this and for class, and I keep looking up things. So I'm like, wait, now was this? Or am I just thinking about Train Spotting?
Right.
But
yeah, your head has got to be filled with information and stuff.
But yeah, so it is the best adaptation. Oh, maybe it wasn't based on a book. Anyway, keep saying your thing. I'll find it.
Well, I mean, because maybe there was a book. Maybe it's a book that maybe they did talk about that in the book, and they cut it for the movie because it was the '80s and they were still very homophobic back then and all that kind of stuff. You know what I mean? Maybe. Okay, next. Let's see. Let me get in my notes here.
Oh no, this was not. Okay, the original script was written by Tom Schulman, who's the writer of this movie, so he got anything. It's based on his experiences at the Montgomery Bell Academy in Nashville, Tennessee, with particularly his inspirational teacher Samuel Pickering. In the manuscript, Keating. I mean, so that it says manuscript. But I don't think it was based on a book. It was just based on like he wrote this screenplay and then it became this movie. I mean, but he is still the screenplay writer. So
gotcha.
The guy who started the screenplay finished the screenplay. Just in the original manuscript, Keaton was ill, slowly dying of Hodgkin lymphoma, and it was removed by the director Weir because he said it was unnecessary.
Yeah.
And they wanted to focus more on the boys.
Cool. Yeah.
So let's talk about that. Keating gets fucked.
Yeah, I know. Shit. But you knew that was coming. You saw that coming from the minute. Robin Williams does this at the beginning and goes.
They straight up.
You were like, that guy's gonna get fired.
Yeah, and like they straight up, but it's not even just fired. He's accused.
I know.
Of like making this child kill himself.
And it was really
when it
the
was
dad.
so the dad.
And yeah, it was just such.
Yeah, I mean the dad. I'm not saying that the dad made his child kill himself, but he was the glorifying factor in it, and did not deal with this. I mean, suicide is a horrible thing. There's all sorts of mental illness involved with it, and depression and all that kind of stuff like that. And sometimes especially with children like this, it's just a feeling of hopelessness that is, compounded in that way, and had nothing to do with Robin Williams. In fact, the exact opposite. And everything that he did was to help that kid.
Yeah.
He did not tell him, do the play without your dad's permission. He did not tell them,
act up and get kicked out of school. He's the one that told Nwanga to calm it down. Yeah. Because he was like, the last thing I want you to do is miss out opportunities to, go to college and do those things. And, he was, you're right. He was doing everything he could along the way to.
He was being a very good teacher and a very good role model and
keep them responsible and,
mentor. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I know. It's infuriating, but you saw that coming,
Yeah. Did not care for the Knox character kissing that girl that was while she was passed out. What the fuck was that? And we're like, we're supposed to be on this guy's side?
I know, yeah.
Don't, dude.
I know. There's a lot of movies that have, just like really weird guys being awkward about approaching women they like in movies, especially from that time where it was like and watch, glorified that they were like awkward and creepy.
Yeah.
And it's like, ugh,
yeah,
like, what? I'm supposed to sympathize with this fucking shit? Like, what was going on in the 80s or in the 70s for when those kids were growing up and writing about their experiences? Like, we get it. You were the nerd in school and now you're a big screenplay writer, but don't fucking, subject us to your creepy shit.
I'm telling you, if you've never seen Revenge of the Nerds, it's real bad.
Well, I've never seen it, so.
It's straight up there. I mean, it's basically rape.
Dude. It's like, man. Ugh, he deserved to get his. Actually, that was me and that led to the funniest part of the movie when he gets his ass kicked for it, which he should have, and then even though like the guy that beats him up is the bad guy in the movie, I'm watching it like, yeah, dude, kick that fucking weirdo's ass. Like, what is he doing? But anyway,
well, and then the girl ends up liking him, but like that's not what you do.
And
it did not have anything to do. Her liking him did not have anything to do with him trying to kiss her while she was passed out. That's the fucked up shit.
I know. But the fucking thing that the jock guy, the boyfriend, says, he goes, "Next time I see you, you die," which gave me an idea for a sequel. Where it's like the whole movie, he's just like, I can't let this guy see me because something's gonna happen. It's like a Final Destination type thing, He's like, he's
always evading.
He's like driving and he looks over and it's the jock and he sees him and then a fucking truck hits him head on. Anyway, it was just a weird way to, got to be a better way to say that, but that was good. But his character did have one of my favorite moments of the movie where, he like faced his fears and went and again kind of a little bit too much, was kind of creepy and harassing her during school, not good, but he did it all to read this poem and kind of like face a fear and everything. After that, when he came back, it doesn't show you how she reacts, which was genius.
Yeah.
And then he comes back and he's all on top of the world, and they're like, well, what does she say? And he's like, nothing. And then they were like, well, why are you so happy? And he's like, it doesn't matter. I did it. He like, the feeling of like, and happiness from just like doing the act.
Him going and shouting
was something that a lot of people struggle with, I think.
Yeah,
and I face their fears on doing something.
I think him going and shouting the poem to her is, I guess you could call it romantic or whatever, but I think that's fine. I don't have a problem with that.
It is fine. Like, now, you don't have to like interrupt her class.
Yeah, if she constantly says stop, then it becomes harassment.
Yeah, sure.
But doing it once and be like saying your piece, I think that's perfectly fine.
Sure, yeah.
And it was about more than that,
Exactly,
like
right.
they said.
Right.
So.
Well, it was about him overcoming the
Yeah.
fear of doing that. That guy, by the way, he is in Burning Love, isn't he?
He's been in.
He's in a bunch of like comedy shit now. Where
I think
he's like he
more-
plays a douche. Oh no, he's in
He's been on Drunk History.
he's in Kimmy Schmidt. He plays that fucking
yes.
douchebag
Duke
guy.
Snyder.
Yeah.
He's also in Wet on American Summer.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
10 years later.
Yep.
He was on Inside Amy Schumer. Yeah, he's done a lot of stuff.
Yeah. He does a lot of comedy.
But he was
stuff.
on The Good Wife. He was on what was the thing I was thinking of? It's an Aaron Sorkin show that I fucking loved. Sports Night.
Oh,
Back in the day. It was a weird.
Sounds familiar.
Yeah. It was Aaron Sorkin. I believe that was like pre
West Wing.
West Wing. What was West Wing? Like 99 or 2000 or somewhere in there?
90,
yeah, this was 98,
97.
But it was a really cool show. It only lasted like 2 years. And
Was it supposed to be a comedy?
it was both. So like it was pitched as a comedy and it really was very funny, but it was still a drama. And it was shot like a regular show now, like a drama would, it was shot single camera,
Oh, gotcha.
Excuse me. And but the very first season of it, because it was like on ABC or whatever, and because it was like pitched as a comedy, ABC demanded that they had a laugh track. So like the first season, if you go back and watch it, there is a literal canned studio laughter on a fucking single camera show.
Gross.
And like with it, like
Bad.
after the first few episodes, like it gets quieter.
Yeah.
And finally they just don't have it anymore because
Yeah,
ABC's like, oh yeah, we don't need it.
Right,
But like,
yeah.
those fucking execs, they're like,
I
well,
know.
if it's a comedy, you gotta have the laughs on it.
Right.
We know comedy.
sell Campbell's tomato soup without a laugh track?
We know comedy. That's in my title.
Come on. We
Anyway.
made pretty good execs. That was a pretty good exec
Yeah.
impressions that we just did. Yeah, that sounds like a nightmare. I'm going to pass on that. Also, Aaron Sorkin.
No, it's a great show. It's very funny and
Yeah, but
very
you said
good.
Aaron Sorkin comedy. I know what Aaron Sorkin comedy is. It's a bunch of guys saying one-liners where they end up smirking at each other and then walking off screen. That's all of his punchlines. You ever notice that? Whenever he throws in comedy into like the West Wing or whatever, it's always funny moments are always someone going like this. Well, that's why I did it this way.
Oh no, this is real back and forth.
Exit left.
Banter. Anyway,
Yeah,
that's
sure.
him. Not to be confused. Who I always get him confused with Noah Wiley. But that's a very different person.
I always get him confused with Dick Wolf because I feel like he wrote for Law and Order, but I'm pretty sure he didn't.
Dick Wolf.
No. Aaron Sorkin.
Oh, I was talking about the guy who plays Knox. I get confused with Noah Wiley.
Who's that? Who's Noah Wiley?
He was on ER, and he's the librarian in the Librarian series.
Oh, I think I know what you're talking
But no,
about.
Dick Wolf is Law and Order. Aaron Sorkin
I know who you're
is
talking
Law and
about.
Order.
Right. But what was the other thing Aaron Sorkin wrote for?
West
It was-
Wing, and then he did he's more movies and stuff now because he did Social Network. right?
Whatever. What is this? The fucking Aaron Sorkin
We're-
podcast? Get
we've
out of
gotten-
here.
We've gotten in a different hole.
All right. We'll do another episode only about Aaron Sorkin, okay? If there's any Sorkin heads out there that are like, no, please keep going. Okay. We got you covered later. Let's see. After Neo killed himself, I made a joke that this is the darkest Harry Potter movie I've ever seen. Because it's like kind of headmastery in the schoolboy.
and they wear those robes.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And they have wands and they're doing magic and all that kind of stuff. Oh wait, that's Harry Potter.
yeah, that's not this.
Okay. Anyway, I took it too far. Let's see. Yeah, and then at the end of the day, I didn't feel like it needed the suicide to like drive any point home.
Well, I mean
I felt like it took a real downturn.
but like that's the
I
the
get
message
it,
of
but there
it.
could be other ways. I just felt
And then
like
he had to
maybe
get fired, and
it just felt like a really dark thing
Yeah.
to do.
it was.
Yeah, but the rest of the movie didn't have that dark of a tone. I guess I'm not like mad at it or anything, and I like it's fine, and I still really enjoyed the movie, but that's probably my only critique is that like maybe it got a little too dark at the end with the suicide there. I don't know if it was necessarily needed. Maybe there could have been other ways to kind of drive that point home, but you know,
I mean, you know,
still
it
good.
drives it well. So
It certainly drives it.
yeah.
Certainly does. But yeah, I'm down to get into some numbers if you are. We're about an hour 10 in.
Yep. Let me get those numbers. All right. The budget was $16,400,000.
Whoa, okay.
All right.
Okay.
What was the I don't like this opening weekend. I don't think that's right. So I'm just going to go with the domestic gross.
Domestic gross. Let's see. I'm going to say 81.5 million.
He chose
Oh.
poorly.
What is it?
95 million.
Whoa.
So it did better. No, you weren't too far off.
Wasn't too far, but I was still under.
That's 10 million off.
Yeah.
13 million off.
About 14 million.
Yeah. So
15 million, about 16 million.
yeah, that was the domestic gross. So the worldwide gross of this film,
How big of a release did it have?
I mean, judging by this number, fucking worldwide.
Oh, okay. Well, that's a clue.
Yeah.
Okay. How about 296.83 million?
Ooh, not bad, but not right.
chose poorly.
Not close enough to give it to you, but it was 235 million.
Ooh, I overshot it, so
Yeah.
can't do that.
Nope.
But damn, yeah.
Yeah, for this little
Shit.
film, it was a huge hit to the point that they were trying to put together a sequel, but they couldn't get everybody back together on it. It's
Yeah.
also like where do we go from here? What are we doing?
Yeah.
This movie didn't need a sequel. This is a standalone story. Everything about these Dead Poets Society, like we got the story.
Yeah.
We were here at the most interesting time of these kids' lives. Like this is it. This is what we had.
Okay. If
You
there
know.
was a sequel, what would its name be? Let's go.
It would be called Dead When I See You.
Yeah.
And it's that
Next time I see
it's
you-
Knox running around.
Dead Poet
It's like-
Society 2. Next time I see you, you're dead.
Yeah.
I would personally call it Live Poet Society. You know? Let's talk about some ones that are still alive. You know, maybe they can
No,
do something.
nobody likes a poet that's still alive because they're always like, "Oh, listen to my poem."
They could have
They're
done
playing their little lute in a
Shel
fucking
Silverstein.
field
Is
while
he
they
alive?
fuck sheep.
What poet wants to, who are you talking about?
I'm
Bilbo
talking
Baggins?
about poets. I'm talking about those pastoral motherfuckers.
Do you know, are you speaking of one in particular that likes to fuck sheep, or were you
I'm
just
talking about all fucking
Okay,
shepherds
all right.
just hanging out, writing
Okay.
poems.
so that all poets are
That's all
shepherds,
that-
or
they're just hanging out. That's
are
what
all
poets do.
shepherds
They're
poets?
All shepherds are poets. All they do is they got free time. If you're a poet, you got a lot of free time to just like sit and stare at the clouds, writing your fucking poems.
Okay.
Naked with all your sheep.
Okay, so then you know what that means. According to that theory, Jesus was a poet.
Jesus was a poet.
Yeah. Did he know it?
He did.
Okay.
Now here's the real question:
All right.
was Jesus gay? That's what my wife wants to know.
Ooh,
'Cause
yeah,
all
she
poets
probably
are
was.
gay.
I mean,
Is that why he killed himself? Because
Is
his
that
dad,
why-
his dad was like, "You can't be gay."
his dad- Jesus really just wanted to do theater the whole time? He's like, no.
This much.
And God's like, no. All right, that's it. You're dead. No, that's it. You're going. I'm sending you back. And so he goes and turns himself in. Anyway, that got dark.
They got
We lost all of our religious fan base there. That's okay.
because we had so
yeah,
many.
we have so many. Yeah. So yeah. Okay, that's a fun segment though. The if there's a sequel, what would it be called?
Indeed. I like that. Yeah.
Okay. What's next? Rating, huh? I gotta give it
The
a nice
rating,
juicy rating.
absolutely.
Okay, well, it's the moment everyone's been waiting for. Out of 10, naked pictures of big booby women with poems on the back of them.
Oh yeah, we didn't even talk about that.
Yeah, and the kid.
I like that.
I brought it up in my synopsis,
Yeah.
briefly there. I give it. I give it 8. A solid 8.
8. All right.
8. pictures of naked big booby women with poems on the back.
1950s Playboy, nothing like it, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So, that's pretty good.
Is it about where you expected my rating to be?
Pretty much. I mean, I felt like, this was going to be up there with as much as you liked Stand By Me. I figured this was going to hit you
Sure.
pretty well.
Yeah.
And, you are a poet of sorts.
Right.
With your music.
I dabble in poetry every now and then. I can recite one for you right now.
You're working on some new stuff, aren't you?
I am. I can give everybody a preview if you'd like me to.
I would love it.
Okay. Just give me a moment here. I'll pull it up here.
Or you could just insert it.
All right.
You can't insert it with that.
No, I have it. It's fine. I have it right here. It's called. This is called Mountains.
Okay. Wait, is this a poem or one of your new songs?
It's a poem.
Oh, okay.
Well, it's lyrics.
Lyrics. Okay.
Mountains. Mother Nature's jugs. Thank you.
Work in progress, or that's
That's it. That's
okay.
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Riley said, simple can be good too.
Yeah.
And so
that's true.
I just was like, that's all I really had to say.
I'm gonna have to, let that one percolate. I'm moved as of now.
Okay.
The imagery was beautiful.
Thank you.
And,
it was really.
I think there's a lot to it.
Okay, that's what I was going for. I was trying to paint a vivid picture of what a mountain would be.
I get it.
In my mind. So just trying to, let the audience see what I see when I look at those majestic landscapes. So,
yeah.
I hope I.
So
did good.
if mountains are Mother Nature's jugs,
Mm-hmm.
alluvial mountains would be like the Natties, and like the Rocky Mountains would be like the Silicon. Or are they all natties?
They're all kind of natties, right? I mean, Mount Rushmore would be like silicone.
Well, no, that would be like a natural boob with a tattoo on it. Well, it's still a natural tattoo.
You want about then?
It's still a natural mountain.
What's been
defaced?
Well, see, that's what I'm saying. It was modified by man, right?
Yeah,
So.
but. Yeah,
that's it, and that's the only mountain I can really think of that was.
Well, what about like a man-made mountain, like the Matterhorn in Disney? I guess that would be.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
Space Mountain.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Those would be like the fake boobs.
Yep. Exactly.
Yeah.
Yep. So you get it.
Oh, I get it.
Okay, good. I was kind of afraid that it would kind of go over your head, and people would be a little confused by it.
I may play the fool, but I have studied.
I see.
I have
I'm
studied
impressed.
a word or two.
I'm impressed. I'm
a scholar, motherfucker.
Okay, that's not something I think a scholar would say, but
hey, free thinking.
That's right. You are right.
There's no.
I can't.
Pure
can't forget the lessons of this
yeah.
movie. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So thank you for letting me do that.
You're welcome.
Thank you. And thank you all for listening.
Thank you for sharing that with us.
You're welcome. You're welcome. I have a lot more if you ever want.
Yeah.
Well, you guys can let us know if you want more poems.
Definitely.
In the future.
Definitely let us know. Okay. All right. Yeah. So, worth it, worth shit?
I gotta go with. Come on.
Of course. All right. Well, now to everyone's favorite segment, the
Reboot Recast.
All right.
Okay.
So for this movie, the kids, that's always going to be a hard thing because you got to cast kids, and I don't really know that many kid actors.
Yeah,
especially high school. I'm not putting anybody from fucking Cobra Kai in this shit.
But they kind of are the right age.
Yeah, they're the right age, but they're not good.
I don't know. Hawk is all right. He does okay.
Yeah, but he's also he would almost look too old.
I don't know. He would. I think he'd be a good Neil.
Maybe.
Yeah. Or maybe. Well, he could be. Ethan Hawke's character.
Yeah,
You know?
or Knox even. Yeah.
He could be Knox. Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, but he's really the only one on that show that's good.
Okay. Well, then how about we just focus on Robin Williams?
Yeah, that's what I thought
Okay.
about in my head.
Okay.
So do you have one off the top of your head, or would you like me to go first?
You can go first. I'm interested
All right.
to see what. you
So
have come up
my
with.
my thought process was I wanted to get away from trying to think of Robin Williams. Obviously, I'm trying to think
Sure.
of this character. It needs to be someone probably around their 40s, in their 30s. It's like more or less his first teaching job.
Mhm.
He's younger, but he's not super young. He's done it. But then not too old. Like we're not getting like this 50, 60-year-old teacher in there that's on the end of his career or whatever. So
Mhm.
like right in the middle towards the beginning of his
Okay.
career. And so I was trying to think of not comedy people, and I kept going back to comedy
Okay.
because it has to be somebody that, like I said about Robin Williams, is that he's shorter and he looks like he wasn't the popular kid. He's not he wasn't the jock, he was the artist, if
Okay.
you will. And but not like an attractive, not an unattractive person, but like not like, oh, this guy got bitches all the
Right.
time. So just a more unassuming thing. And I ended up kind of going back to comedy again, which I do a lot because I think that comedic actors tend to be underappreciated, and I think that they are better
Agreed.
than others sometimes. So I went with, this is really out there,
Okay.
Bobby Moynihan. And I
But
thought
see,
about it
here's
because
the
I've
thing.
never seen him do it. I've
Right.
never seen him do anything but goofy, but like he's very good and he's always believable.
Look,
So I wonder if it would work.
I'm a massive Moynihan guy. Big fan of the hand. All right.
Yeah.
So I just want to preface it with that. But my only question about it is, can he do the slow twinkle in the eye look that Robin was so good at? The
Yeah.
I'm making you feel
I don't-
warm just
yeah,
by staring,
I
kind of thing that Robin
I
Williams
don't
could do.
know because that is very specific to Robin.
Right. But so then I guess could he bring that, at least some kind of essence of that
Yeah.
to the performance? And I
So
don't know because
who
we haven't
you-
seen it, but maybe he
Yeah.
could.
So who would you put?
Man.
It's difficult. I was
Yeah.
thinking, because I kept like going back and I was thinking maybe, again, like I keep trying to get away from the comedy thing, but I can't. And like I was thinking,
I have an idea,
who?
and I think this could work. And it's kind of along the same lines what you were saying, kind of in the comedy realm, but this is someone that can and has, I believe, kind of stretched into the drama realm. Nick Offerman.
Yeah, but I feel like he's too.
Oh, immediately shuts it
Yeah,
down. Great.
No, because I thought about him too,
Great.
but I feel like he's too gruff. Like he could. I would see him playing Kurtwood Smith.
But I can see him turning that gruffness into warmth.
I
what
mean,
I'm looking for is warmth.
Yeah, I don't.
Warmth.
I know. I think he.
Why can't I
don't-
say warmth without a P? There's no P
Well,
in that
I think it's
word.
because these
Warmth.
mics really capture that P.
Warmth.
Warmth.
Try saying warmth without a P.
Warmth.
It's hard.
Warmth.
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 It's pretty easy for me because I have a tongue thrust. So
What the? Oh, okay. Whatever that is. Put that on my PP.
no.
Anyway, we're not gay is the thing. No, anyway.
I think our 5-minute conversation about the Earth's boobs, it made us not gay. That was a very not gay thing.
That made us more gay, I think. But anyway, yeah.
No,
I think he
like-
can bring the warmth.
I think he should play Mr. Perry.
I don't want him to be an asshole, though.
I mean, but he never really gets to be.
Yeah, that's
You know?
true. Okay, yeah, he'd
And
be a
I
good
feel
Mr.
like he's a
Perry.
little. He feels too old too. Like he would have
What
a
is
kid.
perfect age?
I feel like he has a kid that is that age more than he's teaching those kids.
All right, well, that's my first
Now,
offering.
but you know, without the beard, he does soften up a lot.
it. I fucking got it.
Okay,
Steve Carell.
I thought Steve Carell too, but again, too
Dude,
old.
it is. No, he's not.
He's too
no,
old at this
no,
point.
No.
He's all gray.
Oh, you can black that hair up and fucking like he did all through The Office. He'll be fine. He'll be fine.
You know, I don't hate it because I thought of it as well, but I was
It's
trying to
perfect.
figure
It's
out
too
somebody.
perfect. He's the new
younger.
Robin Williams.
A little bit.
He
yeah.
a little bit
I mean,
is kind of.
yeah, I would-
isn't he?
Yeah, Robin Williams is very different, but yeah,
Right.
they are both.
two different things.
They're both comedy that are incredible.
Oh my God, I just got it. But you're gonna say he's too old now. Jon Stewart, dude.
Well, definitely too old.
But he would be perfect.
But he also I don't think he looks right for it because he's just a little too. I mean, I guess he's a
What?
little older now, but he just looks a little too cool. You know, I see him in like a little tweed jacket, and I think
But he also looks like he could have been a, kid that kept to himself and read poems when he was in high school. He has
Yeah.
that look about him too.
I mean, I also thought about Bill Hader. Would not be bad, but I feel like
interesting.
because he's also he's older but not old.
That's interesting.
Yeah, because like the thing is, you want him to be much younger than the stuck up, guys that work there. That's why Nick Offerman would actually kind of work, but I don't think Carell and Stewart would because they're in their 60s.
Okay.
Which like 60s and 70s.
No, they're not in their 60s already.
I bet they are.
No.
I think Jon Stewart is for sure.
I could see Stewart being.
But yeah, so I'm gonna look it up, but you keep talking.
Well, my only other.
Okay, Jon Stewart's 52.
Wow.
I knew that.
Sorry, Mr. Stewart. You don't look like you're.
I mean,
in
not
your
52.
60s.
He's 58. I knew he was close to 60.
Oh, he's close. Okay.
Then,
My only other one would be Adam Sandler, dude, because he likes doing that mushy
yeah,
shit.
but
and all that stuff.
I don't think he's got I really don't think he's got the chops for it. He was really good in Spanglish. I just don't know that he's got the. And
he'd be like,
really his.
Well, you
he's
don't want to
not
call me, oh
quite
Captain, my
subdued
Captain.
enough.
What do you mean you don't want to call me, oh Captain, my Captain?
Yeah, exactly. See, like his
it's
when
very-
he's subdued, he's still a little too much Sandler. Like
Yeah.
even Robin Williams in this, when he goes a little Robin Williams, it's like it feels natural without feeling capped.
right, sure,
You know, it feels like when
Sandler,
Adam
he
Sandler,
just likes doing
he's
the,
still that
I'm just
loud.
a cute guy that
Yeah.
just is taking a chance.
It's like
Give
somebody
me a
just
chance.
yeah, you just turn down the volume. On
Right,
his
right, sure.
Is
Yeah,
over
yeah.
the top.
Yeah.
Because even his character in
But speaking of that, though, here's an idea for casting for Neil.
guess what? Steve Carell is also 58.
Oh, there you go. Dylan, or whichever one that still does acting, Dylan Sprouse, I think, or Cole.
Oh, one of the Sprouse
Yeah,
kids?
he could be Neil.
Yeah, I don't know how good he is. He's not very good when he was 6.
He's in Riverdale, and he plays Jughead.
Yeah,
and
see,
I know that because my wife
yeah.
watches it, not
I'm
me.
not,
okay,
I'm not
guys.
saying that there aren't kid actors. I'm saying I
he
don't
does
know
fine.
them,
He does really fine.
you know?
He
And
does
like,
fine. And
yeah,
he's good.
the only other thing
He's
is,
good. Okay,
throw
I'm just
in-
gonna say it. He's good.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so is like fucking every kid from It and every kid from Stranger Things. Like those kids are all right at that right age. I'm sure they
Yeah.
could work, figure that out. But
Ooh, is Daniel Radcliffe too young to be Riley? Or is Riley his name? Why do I feel
who?
like
John?
I'm saying it wrong?
You mean Robin Williams?
yeah,
I mean Daniel Radcliffe's 30,
too young.
32. I feel like that's a little too young.
Yeah,
But then again, you are a teacher when you're like 22.
yeah, but it's too young for that character.
Yeah, I just feel like it's a little too young.
Yeah.
Maybe in 10 years.
Sure.
But
all
yeah,
right.
that is not a bad choice.
All right. Well,
honestly.
I'm gonna then let's just round it off. I'm gonna stick with Steve Carell. That's who I'm going with.
let
Or wait,
us know.
who was the one that we said? Where Carell was too young. Oh, you said Hater, and that's interesting. But I'm still gonna go with Steve Carell.
Yeah, I think no, there was a better one that you had that was after Carell.
Well, this is infuriating
Yeah, no.
every 3 people that have made it this
Yeah.
far in the podcast.
So let us know what you think in the comments or on Twitter or Facebook, or find our TikTok. We should
All 3
have
people,
we
I
should
should
have
say.
a TikTok now that we're gonna put out there that will have our recast, and then you can stitch your own on top.
Yeah,
of
go
it.
do
So,
a stitch on our fucking TikToks and shit, huh?
yeah.
Don't be a schmo. Do something with your lives and stitch
All right.
onto our TikToks.
Well, that wraps it up for
Uh-huh.
us this week.
Yeah.
Do you have anything else you wanted to add?
Yeah. No.
All right. In that case,
Nom in space.
Our